Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It is time for Coffee with Coach Brandy. I go live every Wednesday at 9 a.m. I am actually taking a moment to sit in my backyard. I got in a 7 a.m. circuit workout this morning at the studio. We have a new to us trainer that is auditioning, and then I got in a nice 1 mile run. So I've actually, you guys know I talk a lot about my decaf coffee and how coffee has really impacted my heart rate and my gut and my hunger. So I've actually started to switch my decaf coffee to after 9 a.m. just because I have such naturally high cortisol running until about 9 a.m. And if I put decaf coffee on top of that, it really takes my just anxiety and jitters to another level, like even just decaf. So I'm not having coffee right now, but I will be soon. So today, like I was talking about in the tagline, we're talking about small group training. So small group training is one of the newer offerings at Feed Your Soul Fitness. So we've been in business for 10 years. We've had group classes and we've had personal training for 10 years, which is so exciting. By the way, save the date, October 12th. It's a Saturday. We're going to be having our 10-year anniversary party from about 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. More details to come. But, coming into our 10th year this year, I was like, we need to kind of shake things up. And small group training is exactly what we're doing with that. So first and foremost, like small group training, what it is, what to expect, how it works, and why you should do it. So what it is it's not quite personal training. So personal training obviously is just one-on-one individual attention. And that's going to be where it's a little bit more scheduled around you. So if you want to train at 2 p.m, if you want to train at 6 a.m, if you want to train at 6 p.m, that's a little bit more customized to you, where we've actually got a small group training schedule. So this is the most exciting thing. We're expanding the schedule to accommodate for more before and after work timeframes, which is the majority of when people need to come in. So starting next week, Wednesday nights at 5:30 p.m., Coach Caitlin is going to start offering our small group training sessions. And then soon, probably the week after that, we'll be offering, the first week of October, we'll be offering Fridays at 6 a.m. Additionally, we'll be also offering for sure starting next week on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. So our current schedule will be Mondays, starting next week, Mondays 4:30 p.m. and 5:30 p.m., Tuesdays 4:30 p.m. and 6:30 a.m., Wednesday 5:30 p.m., Thursday 6:30 a.m., 4:30 p.m., Friday 6 a.m. will be coming the first week of October, and then we'll have Saturdays at 8 and 9. Now we have even more future plans coming into winter to add another Saturday session. And we will be adding another morning session, Monday or Wednesday, and we'll be adding 5:30 p.m. on Thursdays and Tuesdays. So we're really going to round out the schedule as we continue to grow this program. What is small group training? So it is 50 minutes of lifting. And I'll tell you, there's been a big shift in fitness consumers, if you will, where boot camps used to be the thing, hardcore HIIT used to be the thing, and now it really is strength training. We've been ahead of the curve with this because we started offering our Stronger You 6-week series in 2022 and 2023, and they were always sold out, which was telling me I need to make this a membership, and that's exactly what small group training is, because I myself was feeling this trend. I want to be strong. I love that the general society public, especially for women, is getting less concerned with being thin, less concerned with the lowest number on the scale, and going for being strong. We've had a number of clients over the years who are like, look, if I'm not going to be a pencil, which I'll never be, I want to be strong. I want to be able to lift my dog. I want to be able to lift my kids in case of an emergency. We've got parents in our community who are parents of special needs kids, where they literally do lift their adult children in and out of cars, in and out of wheelchairs, and they have to be strong for that. We want to make sure that osteoporosis doesn't become a thing. This is something intimate within my immediate family. Some of our elder women are dealing with osteoporosis. They didn't lift weights. They weren't doing resistance training their whole life, right? So now we're in this generation when we're moving forward with strength training, and that's exactly what small group training is. It's 50 minutes of lifting weights. Now, you might immediately think like, okay, does this mean I'm going to get bulky? Does this mean that I have to lift really, really heavy? No. First of all, you'd have to have a very particular diet. You'd have to very particular lifting regimen, 5 days a week to actually bulk. And you don't have to lift heavy. Now, we'll encourage you to lift heavier over time. And part of small group training is we have a really cool binder. And each individual has their own worksheet in there. It's filed by last name. And then we have the main lifts. So there's 5 main lifts that we focus on in small group training, and we pepper them throughout the week. So you won't do all 5 lifts in one session. You'll do 1 lift per session, and they'll rotate. So if you take a Monday night class, you might have a deadlift. If you take a Thursday morning class, you might have a bench press. You take a Saturday class, you might have a back squat, and it's going to rotate. So you'll always get a chance to do one of the 5 to see how you can progress your strength. But the 5 lifts are a deadlift, a back squat, a bent over row, an overhead press, and bent over row, back squat, deadlift. Shoot, I'm forgetting the 5th one. Anyways, these are important because this is where you can start to utilize a barbell. And I know barbell might scare you. They do come in 45-pound barbells, but we also have 15-pound barbells. And the way that 15 pounds is spread throughout one of these barbells feels incredibly user-friendly, especially for someone who's just starting out and just starting to explore their strength. If you have injuries or limitations, this is a great space for you to start in because it is beginner to intermediate friendly, and it's capped at 6 people. So you're going to get a lot of intimate time with the coach. You're going to get a lot of proper form correction, and they're going to be watching and encouraging you to be safe, but to lift heavier as you can. So maybe, for example, you do a bench press on a Tuesday night and you're able to do 8 reps at 25 pounds. And then you keep doing that and keep doing that. And 6 weeks from now, you actually can do 10 reps at 45 pounds. That's the type of progression we want to see. And that's why we have our tracking book. So you'll do what we call like a main lift, meaning a back squat, bench press, deadlift, bent over row, overhead press. And then you'll do what we call accessory work. Accessory work will include dumbbells or kettlebells. It's going to be a lot of upper body, lower body, and core exercises. And we'll always do 4 rounds of these sets of exercises. And we want that 4 rounds of repetition to really give your muscles the full effect, right? So when you come in, we're going to take you through a warm-up that coincides with that workout. We'll demonstrate the 2 exercises you're going to do for 4 rounds, about 8 to 10 reps each, and we give you 12 minutes to do it. So it keeps you moving where you're moving along efficiently and effectively, but you're also not sitting there wasting a bunch of time. It's perfectly timed for the rest you need to recover, but it's also perfectly timed so that you aren't just standing around scrolling Facebook. And typically during these purposeful times of rest, which can feel a little awkward at first, you're actually communicating and engaging with the other 4, 5, or 6 people. And that's what really creates the community. People are talking about recipes. They're talking about horseback riding and whitewater rafting. They're talking about their animals. They're talking about restaurants they've tried, suggesting stylist places or med spas they go to. Like, there's just a lot of really good, beautiful interaction. So if you're craving that community, you're wanting to get to know some people, this is where you want to be. Then they'll move you on to the next set of 2 exercises that you'll do 4 rounds, 8 to 10 reps, 12 minutes to do that, perfectly timed, and then a 3rd round. So by the end of that, you'll be right around 45 minutes, and that leaves just enough time to cool down, to get some stretches so that your body can work on recovery, wipe down the equipment, and you're out. So you're going to be leaving feeling like you've really worked your full body of muscles. There's been enough repetition. You feel like you're actually stronger, and then you'll expect to get a little bit of soreness either later that day, the next day, or the following day. Everybody's different. Now, also, everybody's different with soreness and whether they like it or they're trying to stay away from it. Now, keep in mind, we don't want you to get so sore, what I call dysfunctionally sore, meaning you have a hard time getting in and out of your car or up and down off the toilet. You can't brush your hair. We don't want you to be that sore. That's not fun. That's not motivating. It's not going to make you want to come back. But also I think some people just don't get sore. My husband's one of them. Like, we will do a pretty kick butt workout and I am feeling it and he'll be like, meh, I feel it a little. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So everybody's body is different as far as like what to expect for soreness. And frankly, I don't want to say it's something you can't change, but it's something you can't change. Like, over time, I've never been able, well, that's not true. By doubling down on protein, I've helped my soreness, but I've always just been a person who feels her muscles, where again, my husband, he can run a marathon and not really be sore. So it's just kind of, how you're built, but recovery does matter. So don't let the soreness scare you. Come in conservatively. So our coaches are going to be able to kind of make sure that you're lifting a little lighter. It feels good and looks good for your body. And then as you get your confidence up with the exercises, with the proper form, then you can actually start to increase the weights that you use. And then you can start to experiment with like that just the right amount of soreness. But it's just that feeling, right? Like, we want to be stronger and we want to live longer. And that's what small group training is all about. And you want to do this because we want to have, like, if you've ever said like, well, I want to look like I'm toned. Toned technically isn't like a word. It's just something society kind of invented for a description. What toned really means is what small group is we're putting lean muscle mass on your body, but again, without becoming bulky. Now, if you have excess body fat, but you're like, well, I'm strong, there's where you need to work on nutrition. So we gain muscle by lifting weights repetitiously, and we lose fat via our nutrition and our dietary approach. So you will lose the fat so that the muscles shine through, so that then you have that toned look. So if you're looking for that, that's small group. There's no cardio. So you're not going to be doing mountain climbers, burpees, skaters, jump squats, none of that in these sessions. There might be a small bit incorporated with the warm up, but not much at all. Surprisingly enough, though, your heart rate will increase while you're doing the repetitious lifting. And it's going to put you probably into like a zone 2 max, zone 3 for heart rate, which is perfect for fat burning. So small group training and the lifting is going to have like a twofold effect in your fat burning, metabolism revving approach, which is what you care about, because then that's what actually allows you to raise your resting metabolic rate, aka how much you can eat calorically without gaining fat. And that's what's going to help you with your hormones, your hormone balancing. And it's going to help you, like I said, protect your lean muscle mass, so that if you're a dieter and you're eating too little, you actually risk when you lose weight that you're actually losing muscle, and we can't afford that. So when you lift and you're working appropriately in your dietary approach, whatever weight you're losing is fat, not muscle. And that lifting weights helps that. So you're going to burn calories while you're lifting. But here's the thing about lifting is you actually can burn calories much longer after your lifting session, from 4 to 36 hours, depending on the person, depending on their lifting. So you can actually burn more calories well after you're done lifting with strength training, but you're also burning calories while you're lifting. Where cardio, you're more so burning calories during the session, but that's about it. Once you're done, it's done. So the lifting is really important for metabolic reasons in various ways, but you will feel that little bit of heart rate increase, like I said, around zone 2 or zone 3, which is really healthy for fat loss. So if you're like, I'm really interested in this small group, tell me more, I want to try it out. We have a 4-pack trial offer. It's 4 sessions that are 50 minutes long, and you can do 1 a week for 4 weeks, or you can do 2 a week for 2 weeks. It's $99 for non-members, and it's $89 for members. And once we sell it to you, it'll be in your account, and the 30 days to use it will trigger on your first session. So if you're like, ooh, I'm interested, but I'm out of town next week, that's okay. Buy it now, because then that's your like accountability, and that's your momentum to say, this is what I'm doing. We'll get you hooked up with the Mind Body app. You can go in and book whatever you want. So you get to choose what small group training sessions you come to, whether it's before work, after work, a weekday, a weekend, whatever works for you. And then back to the accountability part, it's a 12-hour cancellation policy. So if you book a 5:30 p.m. and you're notorious for just kind of bumbling around, staying late at work, blowing off your workout, you've saved one of those 6 spots, meaning somebody else is not getting one of those 6 spots, which means you got to get your butt from work to the studio to make it happen. And that's part of the accountability, because let's face it, if it's your own workout where it doesn't matter really if you do it or not, you won't do it. But this really makes sure that you show up, because you're part of that community, you're part of that 6 or less people, and the coach is expecting you. So beyond that, if you're like, man, I really love it, we offer a lot of different various memberships for small group training. And for those of you guys who are members or past members who have tried our group classes and you like the group classes, but you also want to integrate small group, we do have combination memberships. So there's a lot to explore, but the first thing is just to see if you like it, see if it's a good fit, and that is with the 4-pack. So if you're interested, let me know. I'd be happy to bring you into the studio if you're new to us, show you around, talk to you a little bit more about what to expect, get you a page in our tracking binder so you can kind of track how your lifts start and progress, and get you going to see how your body responds with strength training. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a mood booster, it's going to be a confidence booster, it's going to rev up your metabolism, it's going to burn fat, and it's going to help you blast stress. The pros just go on and on for days, and I really can't think of any cons. And there's not many things in this world that have more pros than cons, but strength training and our small group training is one of them. So Laura, Paula, Charlene, Isaiah, thank you so much for joining me live this morning. If you watch this later, #replay in the comments. Let me know. I know that Char, you're already in our small group training program. Laura, I know you've tried one out. I'd love to hear from you guys what you thought of it, what you feel it does for you. And of course, if you're interested, shoot me a DM or drop a comment below. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday. See you soon.